All right, today we're jumping into a world of high fantasy, looming threats, and heroic deeds. This is our deep dive into the storytelling game for Guild and Glory.
So here's the deal. It's a simple but really powerful idea. You and your friends have just 1 year, that's 52 weeks, to build an adventurers guild from scratch and get your community ready for a pretty major threat on the horizon.
Because really, that's the question at the heart of the game. This isn't about winning or losing in the traditional sense. It's all about the story, the chronicle of heroes that you create together. Is it going to be a tale of triumph, or maybe a tragedy for the ages?
Okay, let's get into the specifics. What exactly is this game? Well, it's a collaborative storytelling game, and believe me, it builds on an absolutely fantastic foundation.
Right, so here's the key thing you need to know. For Guild and Glory is a fan-made rules variant. It takes the incredible, award-winning map-drawing game The Quiet Year and gives it this classic fantasy twist. You're not just survivors trying to get by, you're heroes building a guild.
And I gotta stress this because it's super important. This is a free supplement, but it is not a standalone game. To play it, you absolutely need the rules for the original The Quiet Year. Honestly, it's the perfect reason to go support the indie creator Buried Without Ceremony, and you get an amazing core game out of it. This quote from the creator of the variant really just nails the vibe. It shifts the whole game's focus from just surviving to being proactive heroes. You're not just hunkering down, you're building, you're protecting, you're inspiring people. So, how does it all start? Well, like all the best adventures, it starts with a blank piece of paper and a whole lot of imagination.
Everyone gets together, you grab a piece of paper, and you just start drawing. And hey, no artistic skill is needed, I promise. First, you sketch out the terrain. Maybe there's a spooky forest over here, a big river cutting through the middle. Then you decide on your home base. Is it a huge castle, a rickety fort, a quiet village? You plop down your guild hall, the heart of the whole operation, and then you mark down what few resources your little community starts with.
Okay, your world is on the page. Now the clock starts ticking. Let's take a look at how those 52 weeks actually play out. The game structure is just beautifully simple. You use a standard 52-card deck of playing cards. Each card represents 1 week of the year. On your turn, you draw a card, it gives you a story prompt, and then you get to take an action. That's it. Week by week, the story builds.
And when it's your turn, you've got 3 main things you can do. You can discover something new, which lets you add a new problem or feature to the map. You can hold a discussion where you pose a question to the group and everyone weighs in, or, and this is a big one, you can start a quest.
A discovery isn't just a boring fact. It is a story hook, plain and simple. So you might announce this totally chilling piece of news, maybe you physically write it on the map near those woods you drew earlier, and boom, the whole group has a brand new, super urgent problem to think about.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. This is how the variant makes its mark. See, in the original The Quiet Year, you start a project, like building a wall or digging a well. This version replaces that with start a quest. It's a small change in words, but it has a huge impact on the theme. You're not just doing civic projects, you're hunting down monsters and delving into dangerous ruins.
And the story doesn't just stay in one gear. The deck is divided up by suits, with each suit representing a season. And believe me, the whole tone of the game changes as you move through the year. The game kicks off in spring, which is represented by all the hearts cards. This is a time of new life, of establishing your guild. You're feeling pretty optimistic, but the challenges are definitely starting to peak over the horizon. The prompts you get in spring really set the stage. You're trying to figure out who you all are as a group, dealing with some local characters, and getting those first hints of the real dangers that are lurking just outside your settlement. Next up is summer, which is the suit of diamonds. This is when your guild really starts to act boldly, pushing out beyond your safe borders and into the wider world. Yeah, the stakes get much higher in summer. You're not just reacting anymore, you're launching expeditions. But with new discoveries come new conflicts, both from outside forces and maybe even from within your own community. Then comes fall, the suit of clubs. The days start getting shorter, the air gets colder, and the game's tone definitely takes a turn toward the grim and the difficult. And the prompts absolutely reflect this. Fall brings things like betrayal, loss, and straight-up disaster. Things really start to go wrong. Quests might fail, you have to make really hard choices, and the consequences, they feel real, and they are often painful for your little community. And all of this, the successes, the failures, the people you've met, it all leads to the final inevitable season. Winter is coming, And with it, the final confrontation you've been bracing for all year long.
When that last card, the King of Spades, is finally drawn, the year is over. That's it. Time's up. The Dark Lord and their army are on your doorstep. Everything you've built, every quest you've been on, it has all led to this single moment.
And this is the final question. There are no dice to roll, no complex combat rules. The group just looks at the map. You look at the story of your year that's laid out right in front of you, and you decide. You tell the story of that last battle together. Does your legendary warrior make a final stand at the bridge? Does the clever mage you recruited find a weakness in the enemy's ranks? You decide if your guild's story ends in a blaze of glory or a heroic but tragic defeat. So what's the big takeaway here? For Guild and Glory is a fantastic, totally free way to put an epic fantasy spin on a truly brilliant game. But to experience it, please go support the original creator. Purchase The Quiet Year. It's an incredible, beautiful game all on its own, and it provides the engine for all the unforgettable stories you're about to tell.